We were born in a country with a rich ancient civilization and a prominent role in modern history. But all we saw and experienced around us was vicious poverty, misery, and worsening conditions that don't allow for a decent life to the coming generations. My father always told tales of Egypt's glorious past, which he has lived through. He's been on antidepressants for the past couple of years now, constantly worried about what was happening and what is still happening to Egypt. On January 23rd, my younger brother Ayman told me, "By the way, there are some protests planned on Tuesday. Some people are saying they'll try to overthrow the regime." Bread, freedom, social justice. Those were the chants of the demonstrators who took to the streets of Egypt on Police Forces Day. Youth movements and others organized the marches into Tahrir Square, which is full of prominent buildings like the Egyptian Museum, the American University in Cairo, and the Arab League. At first, security forces were given orders not to interact with the protesters. But when the numbers grew to thousands, which had never happened until then, security forces used tear gas and batons to disperse the crowds and empty the square. A joke quickly spread that night by SMS. If Egypt wins the protests, will it play Tunisia in the finals? We were still amazed with the revolution in Tunisia, which ignited a jealous desire to do the same in Egypt. The next day I had a meeting in Zamalek. The only thing anyone wanted to talk about were the events in Tahrir. We all said it was a great achievement, even if nothing happened straight away. We didn't realize that as we were speaking, hundreds of protesters were converging on Tahrir, emboldened, not disheartened by last night's clashes. I think that was the moment that many Egyptians realized that this time, it's different. It was becoming more and more difficult to log on to Facebook and Twitter, and we couldn't even SMS by mobile phone. We woke up that day to the ringing of the telephone. Everyone who tried to reach us by mobile phone and couldn't, obviously, tried to reach us by landline. People started gathering at mosques for Friday prayers. And then after that, on to Tahrir. The Battle of Qasr al-Nil Bridge was decisive. Omar's friend Adham was in the front row of protesters who stood praying in front of the water cannons, maybe to embarrass security forces and to peacefully show that they stood steadfast. And after much resistance, the armored vehicle retreats and the protesters pushed their way into Tahrir. And then I heard there was a protest in front of the presidential palace. I grab Ayman and we head there. The images on television were horrific. Smoke, fire, and gunshots. It was a war. There were reports saying hundreds of people killed in Egypt. And then we saw something we've never seen before. Army tanks rolling into Tahrir. We saw the National Democratic Party building on fire. The country's in upheaval and there's no sign of Mubarak anywhere. We thought, okay, it's obvious, he's fled. And suddenly, he was in our face. I remember listening to that statement and thinking, this man will surely go, but not quietly and not without more bloodshed.